Chance Nails, the ultimate nail salon with the ultimate nail experience. Have your nail done by one of South Florida's best nail tech. Come on down and be pampered by one of the best in the business. At Chance Nail Salon, everyone feels at home. Our nail techs will go above and beyond to ensure that you get the best of your experience. With a 5.0 Google review, who will want to go anywhere else? Chance Nails is located at 3201 Inverara Boulevard. That's in Lauderhill. So call now and make your appointment at 954-444-1474. That's 954-444-1474. Visit Chance Nails for the ultimate manicure and pedicure experience. They will leave you singing.
Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day, yeah.
GCM Mortgage LLC. Home ownership made easy. Why, you may ask? Hey, that's easy. We'll do the work for you. At GCM Mortgage LLC, we eliminate the lengthy loan process. We pre-approve all borrowers within hours and provide a preliminary approval document to present with your purchase contract. GCM Mortgage LLC offers some of the lowest rates and makes the mortgage loan process as easy as ABC. Quick and straightforward for borrowers seeking a mortgage in the Florida area. Whether you are a first-time home buyer acquiring your dream home or an investment property, refinancing an outstanding loan, or consolidating debt, our profoundly experienced team of mortgage experts can help you take that first step towards a financial solution. GCM Mortgage LLC is conveniently located at 23257 North State Road 7. That's number 200 Boca Road Town, Florida. Our numbers are 954-657-1882. That's 954-657-1882. At GCM Mortgage LLC, we turn your dreams into reality. Start your loan process today.
This is Nigel Blair from BMG Tax and Accounting Services. Whether you're a small business owner, a manager at a medium-sized corporation, or a self-employed freelancer, the team at BMG Tax and Accounting Services is here for you. We offer comprehensive bookkeeping and tax services designed to keep your finances in check. Keeping track of your finances takes a fair amount of time, energy, and patience, and you probably have a lot of other things on your plate. So don't struggle to keep up with all that number crunching and paperwork. Our bookkeeping services are designed to make your life easier so you can focus on what you do best. At BMG, we're dedicated to client satisfaction, and we're prepared to go the extra miles to earn your business and trust. We pride ourselves on attention to detail in all that we do, and we're ready to put our skills and knowledge to work for you. For more information about our services or to schedule a consultation,
welcome to another episode of Flexx FM Sports Desk with yours truly, Nigel Blair. Once again, it's a pleasure having all my viewers, my local viewers, international viewers, viewers all over the world, and all my sports fans that tune into my show right here on flexfm.online. And if you're watching us on YouTube, Flexx FM Sports, don't forget to hit that subscription button, that you will be notified every time there's an event going on our channel. And as usual, we start off with our update of the Casa League. And if you're watching us for the first time, our Casa League is our local league here in South Florida. As I always mention, is one of the most professional amateur league that we have here in our diaspora. And let's start off with our last Wednesday's game, which are one of our Super League games. We had Inter Florida going up against the young Lauderhill Lions, and that was actually our first victory for Inter Florida. You know, our defending Super League champion from last year. Yeah, they're not doing so well this year, but they were able to take down the Young Lions 4-2 in our Wednesday's game. On Saturday, we had our Masters League game first, and I tell you, the Masters League is getting more interesting than the Super League. I tell you, it's amazing what's going on in the Masters League. I tell you right now, it's a dog-eat-dog world for those teams out there. First game we had actually was a forfeit. We had Juventus going up against Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone didn't show up for that game. So, of course, Juventus was victorious without him touching the field. Okay. Second game we had a super game. This was probably one of the most exciting games of the season because we had the legend going up against the four-time defending champion for the Super League, Old Timers. And I tell you, Old Timers was, I'm not going to say whipped, but they were taken down by the legend 3-0. This is new for the Old Timers. I hope this doesn't destroy their confidence. they have been running for 4 years strong. And then we had two new teams that entered the league this year for the Masters. We had Friends United going up against Black Riders FC, and that game ended in a 2-2 draw. As I said, the Masters League is getting very, very exciting. We're coming down to our final stages of the game, of the season, and I tell you, it's a toss-up between these teams. Before, we thought that the Old Timers was just going to run away with it again, but hey, there's some other teams out there that's saying, not so. Our Super League game on Saturday, we had Ingenious going up against FC International, and that game ended in a 5-3 victory for Ingenious. FC International is still trying their best to get back somewhere, not on top of the league, in the middle of the league. But I leave it up to Coach Carey to do his thing there. Okay, that was the all the games for the weekend. And the standing right now, we have in the Super League, we have the Sharks of Palm Beach, who was yet to be defeated. They're standing on top of the league with 19 points. And I tell you, the other team have to come really strong to even come close to these young guys. They're young, talented, and I tell you, they're proving themselves right in this league. Then we have United All-Star. They're sitting in second place, and they only had one defeat. And guess who? By whom? By the Sharks, of course. The Sharks are saying, hey, listen, you need a stronger team to take us down. But hey, season is still going. In third place, we have Broward FC, a new team to the Super League this year, a young team, and they're not doing bad at all. Followed by Rockers FC. And those are the top 4 teams in the Super League. In the Masters League, for the first time, the Old Timers are not even sitting on top. Juventus, coming from nowhere, is sitting on top with 17 points. The Legends with 16 points. And then you have Old Timers with 14 points. The top 3 teams in the Masters League. And I tell you, coming up for tomorrow's game, we have the Super League game for tomorrow. You're going to have Broward FC going up against Rockers FC, and that's a game to come down and take a look at, because Broward is trying to move up the ladder. and Rockers decide they're going to hold them down, because Rockers is actually the runner-up from last year's Super League. Okay. On Saturday starts the knockout tournament for the Masters League. So on Saturday we're going to have 4 Masters game. There won't be any Super League game on Saturday. The first game at 4 p.m. you're going to have Friends United going up against Rockers FC. Second game at 5:30 will be Old Timers going up against Sierra Leone. And our 7 o'clock game will be Legend going up against Juventus. And the featured game on Saturday at 8:30 will be Attackers going up against Black Riders FC. So if you're local, definitely come down to our beautiful Lauderhill Sports Complex. If you're in the Fort Lauderdale, Miami, Palm Beach area, we're at 7500 West Oakland Park Boulevard. And of course, you can tune in to Flexx FM Sports, and we will be streaming the last 2 games on Saturday. That's it for the Casa League update for this week. And we're going to take a look at the Jamaica Premier League, see what's going on in that league. And I'll tell you again, if you think that the Casa League was exciting, let me tell you what's going on in the Jamaica Premier League. Games for the over the weekend. On Sunday's game, we had the first game was Humble Lion going up against Mount Pleasant. That game ended in a 1-1 draw. Of course, Mount Pleasant climbed their way up another notch on the ladder. Last couple of weeks they were slipping down, but they take 2 steps up on the ladder right now. Second game was Tivoli Garden going up against Montego Bay United, and Tivoli was able to take down Montego Bay United 5-2 in that game. Followed by Veer United going up against Falkland FC, and that game ended in a 1-1 draw. Competitive league, I tell you. And then we have Portmore United going up against Waterhouse, and that game ended in a 1-1 draw also. And the final game on Sunday was FC Chapelton going up against Dunby Holden. And I don't know what got into Dunby, but they took a they gave FC a beating, 7-1. There was no stopping them on that game. That was the games on Sunday, and the 2 games on Monday. We had Cavaliers going up against Malines. That ended in a 0-0 draw. And also Arnett Garden going up against Harbor View, and that game also ended in a 0-0 draw. And those are the Premier League, Jamaica Premier League games over the weekend. And the top 6 teams right now in the Jamaica Premier League is Arnett Garden still sitting on top with 49 points. Mount Pleasant had climbed their way back up, and they're now in 2nd place with 46 points. Cavaliers, however, is in 3rd place with 46 points, right behind Mount Pleasant. Harborview is taking their little notches. They're moving up. They're in 4th place with 43 points. And Humble Lion and Waterhouse are struggling neck to neck with 41 points each, with Humble Lions in 5th place and Waterhouse in 6th place. Those are the top 6 teams in the Jamaica Premier League. And if I'm not mistaken, they're almost at the end of the season. I think 1 game left. And of course, the leaders in scoring are still these 3 gentlemen. I tell you, there's no stopping them. You have Callan Anderson of Cavaliers sitting on top with 15 points. Trevani Stewart from Mount Pleasant in 2nd place with 14 points. And Fabian Reed of Arnett Garden in 3rd place with 14 points. Those are the 3 top scorers in the Jamaica Premier League. And as usual, you know, they are staying on top of the league. No stopping them. All right? No one close to them, actually. In any case, that is the update on the Jamaica Premier League. And as usual, every week I promise you a special guest. This week is a very, very, very special guest coming up right after this break. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, my special guest of the week.
Shan's Nails, the ultimate nail salon with the ultimate nail experience. Have your nail done by one of South Florida's best nail tech. Come on down and be pampered by one of the best in the business. At Shan's Nail Salon, everyone feels at home. Our nail techs will go above and beyond to ensure that you get the best of your experience. With a 5.0 Google review, who will want to go anywhere else? Shan's Nails is located at 3201 Inverara Boulevard. That's in Lauderhill. So call now and make your appointment at 954-444-1474. That's 954-444-1474. Visit Shan's Nails for the ultimate manicure and pedicure experience. They will leave you singing.
Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, it's a beautiful day, yeah.
GCM Mortgage LLC. Home ownership made easy. Why, you may ask? Hey, that's easy. We'll do the work for you. At GCM Mortgage LLC, we eliminate the lengthy loan process. We pre-approve all borrowers within hours and provide a preliminary approval document to present with your purchase contract. GCM Mortgage LLC offers some of the lowest rates and makes the mortgage loan process as easy as ABC. Quick and straightforward for borrowers seeking a mortgage in the Florida area. Whether you are a first-time home buyer acquiring your dream home or an investment property, refinancing an outstanding loan, or consolidating debt, our profoundly experienced team of mortgage experts can help you take that first step towards a financial solution. GCM Mortgage LLC is conveniently located at 23257 North State Road 7. That's number 200 Boca Road Town, Florida. Our numbers are 954-657-1882. That's 954-657-1882. At GCM Mortgage LLC, we turn your dreams into reality. Start your loan process today.
This is Nigel Blair from BMG Tax and Accounting Services. Whether you're a small business owner, a manager at a medium-sized corporation, or a self-employed freelancer, the team at BMG Tax and Accounting Services is here for you. We offer comprehensive bookkeeping and tax services designed to keep your finances in check. Keeping track of your finances takes a fair amount of time, energy, and patience, and you probably have a lot of other things on your plate. So don't struggle to keep up with all that number crunching and paperwork. Our bookkeeping services are designed to make your life easier so you can focus on what you do best. At BMG, we're dedicated to client satisfaction, and we're prepared to go the extra miles to earn your business and trust. We pride ourselves on attention to detail in all that we do, and we're ready to put our skills and knowledge to work for you. For more information about our services or to schedule a consultation,
And welcome back to Flexx FM Sports Desk. Of course, as yours truly, Nigel Blair. And just before our break, I promise you a special guest like I do every week on my show. This week just happened to be a very, very special guest. And let me just give you a synopsis of his accolade before I introduce him to you. I'm telling you, Director of Soccer for Village Elite Soccer Academy, Director of Island Sports Concepts, Head Coach of the Women's National Soccer Team, that's the Reggae Girls I'm talking about, Director of Football and Coach Education, U.S. Virgin Islands Soccer Association, Technical Director from Grenada Football Association. And I can go on and on and on, but let me introduce you to the one, the only, Mr. Vin Blaine. Coach, how are you?
I'm great, man. Good to
Man,
be here. Good to be here.
I need more papers to just share your accolades.
Yeah, man, that's some more, but
So, there's a lot more. There's a lot more. Coach, listen, it's a pleasure to have you here on our platform. It's an honor
good to be here.
to meet you, to sit with you here, and I tell you, it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
You know?
it's great to be here.
It's great to be here. And for my viewers who have heard about Mr. Vin Blaine, who have seen him, who hasn't known a little about him, today you're going to find out a lot about who is Mr. Vin Blaine, who is Coach Vin Blaine.
I give up everything on myself.
Huh?
Yeah, man.
Well, we don't have enough time to give up everything on yourself. So, Coach, I'm going to start off from your early days.
Early days.
But I'm going to start off from your childhood.
Yeah, man.
Talk to me. Where in Jamaica are you from?
Okay.
And when I say from, that means where you born and
Birth.
raised.
A lot of people are going to be surprised. I was born, and when I was born, I was living on Pitchen Street in Kingston, downtown Kingston.
Huh.
Moved. I can't tell when I moved. That I know I was born in Kingston.
Right.
I think I went to went to Montego Bay. Moved to Montego Bay because my stepdad was a musician.
Okay.
Old timers would know him as Taddy Mort. He's a bass player, a legendary bass player in the Caribbean. And, so he had a gig in Montego Bay. So we moved down, the family, my sisters and myself, moved down to Montego Bay. So I was there until I think I left there when I was 10 to come back to Kingston.
Okay.
Harborview specifically. You know, so, and my journey in football started then. Because I used to have a church right across,
Okay.
parish church right across from where we lived on Payne Street. And they used to play football on the church grounds. So I went, when I was 9, I was playing ball with big men and bigger boys who were, you know,
So
my age,
you start playing ball in Sunday school.
that's not those days you have to go Sunday school every day. every Sunday you have to go Sunday school them days. But one of the persons that I really played with, a young man, he was one of the stars at Cornwall College, right? And we played together. I didn't even know what I was doing then, just playing, you know. And then I left from there, and we came back to Kingston. I actually passed, in those days, I had half scholarships and full scholarships.
Right.
So I actually passed half scholarship to go to Cornwall College. But then I left and come to Kingston. So, you know, then I had to sit over the exams. And fortunately, I would pass for KC.
Oh, Fortis, man, huh?
Fortis every day.
Sorry to hear that.
So that's where it started. And I actually, where I lived, right in front of my home is what we call Aqua Park. So I live on Aqua Avenue in Harborview. So there was a triangle we called Aqua Park.
Right.
Yeah, at the time we had no field in Harborview apart from that little triangle. Everyone played, and Billy Perkins, a lot of people play there. You know, so that's where so I actually get a start.
So if I'm not mistaken, so the Harborview club that you see now actually started in that little square?
Yeah, unofficially,
Yeah.
it started there. We were playing as Harborview, but it was not. We played in leagues at the time, minor league and those competitions. We played there, but it became an official business after I left Jamaica. I mean, back in about 74, I think it is, when it was made into it was formed into a company as such. But we played there. So I was actually one of the founders of the club.
Oh.
You know, and then when we had Carver Stewart came in and Clyde Giardini and some other members, then they transitioned into and they got the field up by what we call compound. Matalan gave them a field that's Harborview Stadium now.
Stadium now, right?
So that's where it started on, right in front of in that aqua park. A lot of players, all Manning Cup players, a lot of Manning Cup players were played in Harborview.
And so you did play for KC?
I played for KC in 1966.
Manning Cup?
Manning Cup.
And how did you guys do that year?
Well, we never lose a game. We never lost a game. That's one of the better teams. They were coming out of the 65 era.
Right.
Because 66, I was supposed to have played in 66, but they didn't have any competition that year. They suspended the competition that year for some unruliness at the stadium the year before. So they canceled that year. So I played in 67. But as I said, we never lost in a game. We won the competition.
So you know what it is to be a winner.
Yes, definitely.
Now you transition. Okay, so you transition from KC. What was next for you?
Well, after KC, I got into the business world, in a sense.
Okay.
I had a couple of business, and then but I worked first as a matter of fact, because I left school when I was like 18. Okay. So I went. I started working. And then got into business, and from that I left and came to Florida, actually Miami.
Okay.
Back in about 70, maybe around 73, 72, 73, so in that time.
Some of our viewers that's watching don't even know what the 70s is.
Yeah. Much more the 60s. Yeah.
So, okay. And so when you came to Miami, did you continue your soccer?
Not really.
Soccer,
not really. I remember in that time, not a lot of soccer was being played.
Right.
And my son came, he never played, because it wasn't the thing at the time. But further down, I got into a team here. I don't even know who formed that team, but actually the team was called Cavalier.
Ah.
Cavalier. So I played for that team here. Maybe about a season.
Okay.
But then some unruliness came in, and I couldn't.
What's going on with you on unruliness?
I don't know. They just follow me around. But in that time, that's what happened. And I left and started to play cricket here.
Okay.
A friend of mine took me to a cricket game, Islanders Cricket Club. It was called. I'm sure a lot of people here will remember that. And I went to a game actually. And so I was a wicketkeeper in school. I kept for KC. I played Sunlight Cup for KC as a wicketkeeper. And so when I came to the game, I saw this wicketkeeper standing like maybe 6 feet behind the stumps, and he was keeping to a spin bowler.
In front of the ball.
The man was keeping to a spin bowler, and he was like 6 feet behind. So I said to my friend who took me, he played in the game. He was playing for Islanders at the time. And I said to him, no, that's a waste of time. Yeah. So I said, listen, I want to come out and play and train, and I mean instantly, and got best wicketkeeper in the league, that type of thing. Actually, I played with Lance Gibbs, right, and Charlie Griffiths when they were just retired.
Oh wow!
Here, because they were playing here at one point, especially Lance Gibbs was playing here at the time. So that's my southern in the cricket. I never liked cricketing. I mean, it was my favorite sport, but I trained more with them than I played than football. And football is my #1 sport.
Okay. So, all right. So now, how did you get back into soccer after playing cricket here?
Well,
or football?
Yeah, I went back home to Jamaica.
Okay.
And when I went back home, my then wife, right, we're still married, I shouldn't say then, invited me to, I never had any notion about coaching. I never planned on coaching, right? But when I went back home, I was invited to to start a program with Kingston Senior High School down on King Street. Right. And I said, okay, I'll go. And I started the female program there. Okay. And while doing that, I was invited by another friend of mine who attended St. Hugh's High School. So she asked me if I can come and take that program. And that's how my journey started. By chance, everything I do is almost by chance. By chance. So that's how it moved from there. Right. And then I went to University of the West Indies. Okay. To coach the girls, the women's team there. And while there, a follower of Harborview Football Club. Then I wasn't with Harborview at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back. And she saw me coaching, assisting a coach at UA.
Right.
And asked me, why don't I come back to Harborview and take over the program? And after some, you know, not begging, but, you know, approaches by another
the transition begins.
Yeah, transition begins. So I went back. I went to Harborview as their coach. So while I'm coaching UA,
right,
I was still I started the program at Harborview. And when we took the program, they were getting 16. The first game I saw them, as a matter of fact, was against UA,
right,
who I was helping the coach at the time, and they got like 16 love. I'm going, what the hell, you know? So I went there and took over the team and transitioned it at Harborview, won everything. We won 5 knockout competitions straight and also a Premier League title.
Wow.
So we moved it from 16 and we were champions for 5 years straight in the knockout competition, and then we also won the Premier League with them.
So at this point now you start taking your coaching very serious.
Not really, you know, not really. I still never felt like I was going to transition anywhere.
Right.
I just did because it's my club, Harborview, and I came to love coaching girls at that point.
Right.
Because discipline is one thing I profess. You know, I don't. That's what was wrong with the team.
No discipline.
No discipline. No disrespect to the coach, but I think he sort of allowed it in a sense. And so I went there and I took over the team. And we did fairly well. We were one of the top teams in Jamaica, along with Barbican and another team, Portmore Strikers. Though they had some good teams in the Premier League, female teams.
What year are we talking about now?
We're talking about 2006. I won the Premier League.
Okay.
And then between 2000 and maybe 2000 and maybe five seasons straight ago. So I have to go back 5 years and come to the Premier League. But those days were good days with good players.
Right.
At the same time, I came into the national program.
Okay.
So I had a national program. We had a good team in 2006. As a matter of fact, we missed the World Cup. If the format was as it is now,
right,
would have gone to the World Cup twice already before these girls, because then there's only 3 teams went through. So it was USA, Canada, Mexico.
That's it.
And every 2 years I play off with Mexico for the 3rd spot, and then
really?
beat 3-1 both times.
Wow.
So
it
was all local girls at the time. All local girls on in our Jamaican team, no foreigners.
See, and I think during that time we really didn't hear about the reggae girls.
No, it was. I mean, in the Caribbean we were hot.
Right.
In the Caribbean,
outside of the Caribbean.
Outside the Caribbean, you wouldn't hear. Even Jamaica, yes, we were there, but it was not any. You know, we were used to winning in the Caribbean. We won just. Trinidad was our nemesis at the time.
Okay.
But we won everything in the Caribbean. Everywhere we go, it's 6-0. You know. But now the teams are getting much better.
Right.
Building up.
So let's talk about your experience as the coach for that national team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during your move from Harborview into the national team,
Setup, yeah.
How was that transition for you?
Quite good, you know. Because I had some experience now coming into,
right,
and because of my record with it, at UA we won everything. Even GC Foster, who was a school that has all athletes,
right,
we defeated them, and that's something never happened to GC Foster at the time. They are good athletes. Well, I won everything with UA. We went to Trinidad and try university games. We won that. We won the league in Jamaica. We won everything. And then with Harborview, I got a good experience. You know, I played a lot. We playing a lot of game. I sort of imposed myself on the team, you know, discipline-wise.
Right.
And so the transition was not that bad. I was offered the job before with the Jamaican national team. But a friend of mine was coaching at the time, and I asked him directly. I said, "Is he going to lose his job?"
Right.
And because they want me to replace him, and I said, "No." I said, "Whenever he's out of the way, whenever you're done, you know, whatever it is that is out, and you come up to me again, then I might consider it. And so that's how I got into the program. He left, and they asked me again, you know, and I took the team. But most of the girls I knew at the time, a lot of them were playing with Harborview and with teams that I'm playing against,
right?
You know, and Barbican. So I knew the girls I've come across, and we have battled together, so we know exactly what we're.
And as coaches, you know your opponent teams, your players.
Yeah.
You study that.
Yeah, we look. I know what the good players were.
Right.
I just saying they were decent players at that time. Now our program has declined because we went to the World Cup at the expense of development.
Right.
You know, so that is we have to get it back. Jamaica, you know, have a lot of talent, but we have to get back to where it is now.
What is it missing?
It's missing organization. It's missing the will to develop the program locally, and not brag on what what you do at World Cup. You qualify for the World Cup. That is, to me, one of the biggest downfalls of our program. You know, at one point, the Premier League, Women's Premier League, wasn't going well.
Right.
A lot of indiscipline came in, and we were losing our sponsor, right? And we lost our sponsorship. But then now we made it to the World Cup, and for some reason there's no development in Jamaica again.
Nothing after that.
I've had people come to me over the past few years asking for players, because I was a go-to person from the colleges.
Right.
Really, if anybody want to play for the team, they email me. People I don't know, and I still help. And over the past 3, 4, 5 years, I can't recommend a girl.
Wow.
And that's we used to send girls 5, 6, 7, 8 a year, just outside of the ones who might go by themselves.
So do you think it's because now they're dependent more so on the overseas players than the local players?
Well, it's obvious, because it's 90% overseas
players.
Some girls who have never been. I don't think some have ever been to Jamaica 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Apart from when they come here as to play.
Right.
But I am not against it. But what I'm against is you stop the development to accommodate these players.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
In the men's league, you have Premier League. You still have a good Premier League.
Right.
Jamaica, you struggle to find. You have a Premier League and teams are getting 21-0 and 18-0. Never happened in my time. It might happen to one team,
but not multiple teams.
Not multiple teams. So that needs to be, you know, powers that be needs to ensure that they bring back the female football development in Jamaica.
So do you see any hindsight of that happening in the near future?
They keep saying it,
but you're not seeing
but I'm not seeing it. It's years they've been saying it. I say we went to the World Cup, what, 5 years ago, right? And the same, if you look at the team, the same 5 girls that came from the Jamaica system are there. The same that came through the program, high school football, Premier League, right? Club football are still there. No one knew. There's not one girl that came through that I know of, and I've seen the team. You know, so we're bringing a lot. Yeah, we want to win, and I do have a problem because every country is doing it, bringing in players, Nigel. But my thing is, you can't do that at the expense of development. Right? And I'll tell you this before you jump in again. This is it. Our girls in Jamaica depend on a pathway from Premier League, Jamaica national team, to get a scholarship. They're not boys who get a contract here, contract there, all over the place, right? So our system, right, propelled our young ladies into college to get a better life.
So it's very, very important for the development.
Very important. You get a child from the US, Nigel, right?
Yeah.
And they go straight into college. Boom, high school college.
Yeah.
We have to find out We have to get a scholarship. We have to find airfare. We have to find service fee. We have to find all those type of things to get into a college. Why aren't we giving these young ladies a platform that they can now do what these other girls have done?
Wow.
You know, you're bringing all these professionals. So it's a serious thing.
Wow. I mean, that is a serious thing.
Serious thing.
That is a serious thing. Now, Coach, you looking at your accolades, you've been director with several different entities, right? Village Elite. That's an academy.
Yeah, it's academy. A friend of mine, and we started together, but we have not. It's not actually not really up and running as such. We had some difficulties, so we put that on the back burner for a bit. But
what was the foresight on that academy?
My thing was to get an academy that we can prepare players for national teams, not just Jamaica.
Right.
So I wanted to concentrate on youngsters from different Caribbean countries. Because one of my jobs prior to coming back here was I was a CONCACAF coach educator, sorry.
Okay.
So I went to different countries. So I have contacts in all the countries like that. So I was saying that if we could, our premise was to start an academy, prepare players for the different countries, and because I know,
right,
and my partner knows too, what we have to do to prepare them to get to the next level. So I think that was important for us, but still a work in progress.
Okay. And still a lot that can be done to assist you in that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I also see that you were director of, technical director for Grenada.
Yeah. I was actually technical director for Jamaica before I went to Grenada.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in charge of the women's program with JFF. Jamaica Football Federation. Right. So I've been in charge from 2005 right up to maybe 2010 when I was the assistant coach for Schaefer.
Oh.
Right, I was the assistant coach with Schaefer, and then after that I became a technical director.
Okay.
So then I left Jamaica in 2017 for just something new, you know.
Right.
I wanted to go out there and see what it is. So I left in 2017. I went to Grenada as their technical director. So
how was that experience compared to Jamaica?
Similar in the ball game,
right,
but different in culture. And as a technical director, the first thing you have to do when you go to a country is understand their culture.
Right.
I'll give you an example. When I went first, Carnival time was around. What came up soon? Carnival, you know.
Yeah.
And the head coach is telling me that these players won't come out to train, right, because it's Carnival next week. So they take the time off. And I said to him, "You've got to be crazy.
That's mandatory."
Mandatory. I said, "You're crazy." I said, "Let me tell you. Let me put something to you, right?" I said to him, "Listen, if I tell these guys that next week we're going to Brazil for a 2-week camp, right, no, they remember anything about Carnival. So don't give me that." So what I did, I met with them, you know, and I did. So in Jamaica, Carnival, man, you call them international program. Yeah. You know, in come to training, in war come to training. You know that, right? So that's one of the things that, and the other thing now is that there are no clubs there that are paying, that the players pay for and get paid. So every single player there works, and the most, I think 80% or more might be construction workers. So you know, them have a hard day on the job,
right,
and then come to training at 5 o'clock.
Burnout.
Trust me, right? So it's different. Jamaica, more people, more talent, but not far off. You know, and it takes structure, it takes planning, right, to build it.
Well, and then you also was in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, I left Grenada and I went to US Virgin Islands as the director of football and coaching education.
Wow.
You know,
That's
yeah,
a lot of.
I mean, yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I worked with FIFA. I still work with FIFA as a technical expert. What that means that we go to country, I will go to countries and oversee their development, their technical development, coaching wise. So I oversee. For instance, I'd have you as a coach educator for your country. So I come and I oversee what you're doing. I do that assessment on you as a coach, and then I will guide them through what they're doing wrong, what they could do be better, and still having the culture in mind. So you can't just go there and say, okay, this is what you must do. Same, I had to do this, I had to adjust in U.S. Virgin Island too.
Culture-wise.
Yeah.
Tell me about MVP.
MVP is, all right, after I grew up in Jamaica.
Right.
So I never did any, I did a lot of certificate courses with FIFA and KNVB, which is the Holland, which is the Netherlands Association. So I did a lot of those things. I never did sit a license or a B license in the US because I was, as I said, I started off not even thinking of coaching.
Right.
And in my coaching time, I went back to Jamaica. So I was fortunate enough to be assigned to off my record and my experience into positions. So now I decided, as a coach educator, I think I should be more advanced than the coaches that I'm educating.
Exactly.
So I actually had a podcast on the sideline, and I was interviewing this young lady from Kenya, a coach from Kenya, and she mentioned MVP School of Coaches in Barcelona, and I found it very interesting, And I called them up, and that's how I got on. So they do. I now did a masters of high performance football with them, and that took me a year to do. Okay. And then I went to Barcelona for a week and a half to complete. Yeah, but it's a wonderful journey. It was a wonderful journey doing that course. I think it's something that opened my eyes. I've been coaching for 40 odd years, and that in those 40 odd years, this course that I did brought me to reality. How the
new level,
different level, because they deal with, I say, it's high performance. So they deal with people who coaches at the Premier League level and whatever level, yeah. And
a lot of mental work.
A lot of work, and you do some. You have to do. You have to identify situations in a game on the fly. You can't replay the video. You just have to look at it and you can say, okay, that is, because they deal with fundamentals of the game.
Right.
And I think this is an area that our coaches need to know how to deal with the fundamentals. Each position, there are over 171 fundamentals of the game, and each position have their own fundamental. So if your game model, to develop your game model, you have to know some of these things. How do I want you as a winger to play? You should know your fundamentals, the thing that you do as a player.
Right.
So the centre backs have their own. Right. The goalkeeper has his own. Right. The wingers. So there are certain things that they function in the game. And I tell you, it opened my eyes. And if you know the fundamentals, it's easier for you to read the game, and easier for you to coach the game.
That's why when you're watching some of the Premier League, you're wondering how they do certain things, how the players know certain things that's going to happen.
Exactly.
And,
yeah, because you have a thing called constellations, right? Which is two players. I knock the ball to you, but you know already that I'm going to go with the cameras. So you just knock it right away. Yeah. So if you look at Messi and his teammates, you wonder how they know the ball is coming to them. And it's just the constellations in the game. Constellation has to do with more than one person. It's two players or three. Right. And the fundamentals is the important thing are the fundamental things are the fundamentals of the game. How do we play a centre back? How does our movement affect the game? How can we do? And this is why I see a lot of our players locally. I watch the league. I watch the league here too, Casa League, and they're all over the place. You know, they're running, and they just don't know. You can't run out. There are certain things you do. You must always have 3 players in front of goal. That's one of the ultimate rules in a sense, right? But and if you are outnumbered in the middle of the pitch, you can't leave and go out because you're already outnumbered there. You understand me? And it's all little things. I think, and I think the course, MBP, doing that course, expensive as hell.
Right.
But it is worth. It was worth it.
But let me ask you now: would you take it upon yourself to educate coaches in that manner?
Yeah, I did one in Jamaica recently.
Okay.
Every time I go to Jamaica, what I do, I do it for I started out, as a matter of fact, I did that at your school.
In Manchester?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I did. I went there.
Well, I appreciate that.
I know you would. I didn't go to KC. But what I did, I like to deal with the Costa Cup coaches, because everything happens in town where I'm from. But I do, when I go, I hold workshop for them.
Right.
I did one in Kingston a couple of months ago with Casafa for the town. I've done online. I'm doing online. As a matter of fact, tomorrow I do a webinar for Casafa coaches in Jamaica on playing the 4-2-3-1.
Right.
You know, and I bring guests on the show to present. You know, I did a workshop for 1 year, one Saturday every Sunday, for coaches coaches came from UK, they came from Africa, they came from all the Caribbean countries, Canada, USA. Every Sunday I used to do that, 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and we go for like 2 hours, and I did that for one Saturday. Coaching and coach education to me is the most important thing in the game.
I love to hear this, Coach, because I tell you, you know, being in the game or playing the game for such a long time, or educating myself about the game, the love that I have for the game, these are the things that I know that's necessary for some of the coaches that we have here. You know, and if it's transition to the coaches, then that can transition down to the players, and the development will be so much greater, especially in our country.
Yeah, definitely. And my problem, and I thought a problem, is that some of the coaches refuse to educate themselves. If you want, I want to do this. When I was in Jamaica, I did a workshop in Kingston. And not one Premier League coach came. As a matter of fact, one of the Premier League coaches sent his two assistants. Because
he already make it.
Yeah. And I'm saying, if you go to a webinar, you learn one thing. It's more than you knew before you came.
Of course.
But they don't. And you see, a workshop, you know, has to do with discussions. It's not so much lecturing. You put forward your position and what you have learned outside, and you're trying to impart it on them. You can say, "Listen, coach, I don't believe that. You know, this is what I believe," and let us have a discussion around it.
Right.
Not because I did a master's in high performance, that means I know everything. I'm imparting on what I learned, and I think it's important that we do that.
Exactly.
You know, so it's if I knew what I knew when I won Premier League, right? I won Premier League with Harbourview. 2013. I never know half of this stuff. I just went off what I knew and how I
Can you imagine if you knew what you knew?
Of course, it would be different. It's a different thing. I'm not saying. I mean, I would win big, you know, but in a sense, I would have a better way of educating the players.
Exactly. Well, I tell you, Coach, there's so much that you have to offer, and I tell you, I wish I had more time. You know, I'm thinking I'm going to have to do round 2, three with you, because you know, I have a lot of viewers are watching this right now, and the information that you have is vital information for them, for coaches, for players, for lovers of this sport.
Yeah.
You know, and I tell you, I'm going to have to bring you back to this platform.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
I tell you, because you have so much to offer.
Not a problem. When I talk football, I love
I'm so disappointed that we're running out of time. But Coach, I want to tell you, it's a great pleasure for me to have you here. And I'm sure that my viewers are excited to see and to hear what you have to say. You know, but again, as I look at the time, and the time has not given us what we deserve, but I guarantee you, to my viewers, I will bring Coach Blaine back to this platform so we can get a lot more of his. You know, when I'm matter of fact, I'm going to dig out his brain. And if you allow me, Coach, I'm gonna get some brain teasers from you. You know. But once again, Coach, I want to thank you. Thank you for being on my platform.
It's been a pleasure.
And to my viewers, locally and international, once again, thank you. If you're watching us on our Flexx FM Sports on our YouTube channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And you can always catch us 24 hours on flexfm.online. And of course, you can catch me here every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. with Flexx FM Sports Desk right here. Until next week, this is Nigel saying, see you there.
GCM Mortgage, LLC. Home ownership made easy. Why, you may ask? Hey, that's easy. We'll do the work for you. At GCM Mortgage, LLC, we eliminate the lengthy loan process. We pre-approve all borrowers within hours and provide a preliminary approval document to present with your purchase contract. GCM Mortgage, LLC offers some of the lowest rates and makes the mortgage loan process as easy as ABC. Quick and straightforward for borrowers seeking a mortgage in the Florida area. Whether you are a first-time home buyer acquiring your dream home or an investment property, refinancing an outstanding loan or consolidating debt, our profoundly experienced team of mortgage experts can help you take that first step towards a financial solution. GCM Mortgage LLC is conveniently located at 23257 North State Road 7. That's number 200 Boca Road Town, Florida. Our numbers are 954-657-1882. That's 954-657-1882. At GCM Mortgage LLC, we turn your dreams into reality. Start your loan process today.
This is Nigel Blair from BMG Tax and Accounting Services. Whether you're a small business owner, a manager at a medium-sized corporation, or a self-employed freelancer, the team at BMG Tax and Accounting Services is here for you. We offer comprehensive bookkeeping and tax services designed to keep your finances in check. Keeping track of your finances takes a fair amount of time, energy, and patience, and you probably have a lot of other things on your plate. So don't struggle to keep up with all that number crunching and paperwork. Our bookkeeping services are designed to make your life easier so you can focus on what you do best. At BMG, we're dedicated to client satisfaction, and we are prepared to go the extra miles to earn your business and trust. We pride ourselves on attention to detail in all that we do, and we're ready to put our skills and knowledge to work for you. For more information about our services or to schedule a consultation,
Shan's Nails, the ultimate nail salon with the ultimate nail experience. Have your nail done by one of South Florida's best nail tech. Come on down and be pampered by one of the best in the business. At Shan's Nail Salon, everyone feels at home. Our nail techs will go above and beyond to ensure that you get the best of your experience. With a 5.0 Google review, who will want to go anywhere else? Shan's Nails is located at 3201 Inverara Boulevard. That's